This program is presented by QubicaAMF, making bowling amazing.
Welcome, everyone, to the 2026 Bowling Promotion Tour's QubicaAMF Masters Series. This is our second of 7 matches in this stepladder featuring the top seeds from our 18-game qualifying round. And we're here on lanes 21 and 2 at the Malo Bowling Center in La Meziere, France for our televised finals. I'm Bruce Hall, and along with Marc Chavet, we provide the international commentary for this year's Bowling Promotion Tour. Today's match features Arthur Willemin versus BPT Women's Champion Crystal Elliott of the U.S., who's our number 6 seed. Willemin, who's from France, is coming off a win against Christopher Viali of the U.S. in a tight match that he won 182 to 173 without doubling. Willemin qualified 8th with a 202 average, and Elliott was 6th with an average of 208, which includes her 8 pins per game handicap per international rules, and that she will be awarded for this match as well. The winner here faces the number 5 seed Arnois Ambiel, and our top seed Simon Ruszewski from Slovakia will bowl just one match for the title. We'd like to thank QubicaAMF for their continued sponsorship of this Masters Series, and Storm for sponsoring our Women's Series. Our oil pattern today is custom made for these TV finals. It's 41 feet of length, 7.86 to 1 ratio, and a rather light 23.8 mils of oil. In the last match, we saw some urethane, but it does not look to be in play here. And indeed, it looks like Crystal is opting for an Ion Pro reactive ball from Storm. And it looks like Arthur has moved to a Harsh Reality strong reactive from Rotogrip and has moved his feet to the left and looks to be playing a little bit more inside compared to the last match. Looking more closely at our players, you have to believe that Arthur is once again our underdog, being just 19 years old and having bowled for only 3 years. Whereas Elliott is 25 and has been bowling for 14 of those years. Arthur averages 207 outside of the Bowling Promotion Tour, with Crystal holding a 210 average at present. Willemin was second in both 2023 and 2024 in France's national championships and has multiple regional titles in that country. Listen to Elliott's resume. She won the 2024 USA Team Trials and was the amateur champion that year, which is no easy feat. She was also on the 2022-2023 NCAA National Championship team at Jacksonville State University. And by the way, she was the 2024 PBA Rookie of the Year. She has spent 5 years on Team USA, 3 as a junior, and she won gold in the singles event at the 2024 Pan Am Games. So, again, safe to say, Willemin is the underdog. Here is the handshake, and our referee, Philippe Sionville, will kick us off. It looks like Crystal has opted to start on the left lane, and as the higher seed, she gets her choice. So she'll start on that left lane, then it will be Arthur on the right lane, then the left, and so forth until we get to the 10th frame. And watch the form of Crystal Elliott. She did win our Women's Series, which you can see on this same channel. And here goes that Ion Pro. Right down the 4th arrow, and an absolute picture-perfect start for Crystal. She flushes her first shot. Watch this. Look at that knee bend. Gets through it. Look at that turn through the pocket. Absolutely picture perfect shape and result. And she says, okay, just going about the business. And wonderful start there. Now here is this harsh reality for Arthur. He had both a hammer effect tour and a urethane ball last match, and he starts off perfect as well. And watch this ball get out to the dry and go through the pins absolutely perfectly. I can tell you right now, he did not have anywhere near that good a look on any shot last match. So we could maybe see some fireworks here if both these bowlers get lined up. We had a 182 to 173 match last time. Only one double. Christopher Vialli was able to double late in the match, but then followed it up with a super washout, which unfortunately cost him the match. And Willemin won it without doubling. He only had one open. And there's a double for Willemin already. He's doubled. He didn't double at all last match. And in the first two shots here, he stuffs them both. And watch this ball turn through the pins and take 10 back. So what a start. He thinks he pulled it, but he got it in. And I guess that harsh reality reacted well to the oil on the middle, went down the lane. Of course, that left lane is a little bit tighter. Traditionally, this right lane has proven to be a little bit drier. We've seen numerous 3, 4, 7, 10 combinations of all things. And let's see what happens here. Crystal looking to double up as well. And boy, look at that perfect shot. Oh my gosh, this is called splitting the 8-9, folks. And when you hear that phrase, splitting the 8-9, this is what it means. Watch the ball go through the pins, and the last two to go out are the 8 and the 9, which the ball splits. That indicates perfect entry into the pocket, perfect path through the pins, and about as good a strike as it's possible to throw. And now we have two doubles to kick us off. So could see some fireworks here, as we said, in this match 2 of the QubicaAMF Masters. And here is Crystal. Love that inset view. You can see her intensity. Gets down at the line. Another pocket shot, but unfortunately a little bit high for a 4-pin. And that ball might have been a tad left of target. You thought she might get away with it on the tighter lane, but it does turn right there. It turns a little bit high into the pocket. The head pin goes and knocks out the 7, but does not do its job on the 4. So Crystal will go cross lane, throwing this Jester Rotogrip spare ball, the red and the black. And is that a little bit to the right? No, it gets over there. She was a little nervous about that, but she did make the spare, so no worries there. So we're actually going to give her 37 in the first frame because we're going to add the 29 that she earned plus the 8-pins handicap. So we're going to give her 37, which gives her a 7-pin lead right off the bat here because of her 8-pin handicap. And here is Arthur, right lane, gets it out, turns it up. Another beautiful, perfect strike for Arthur Willemin. Boy, this young man has come alive here in this second match. That's about where he was playing in the first match. He's not dramatically left, but what a much better reaction he has with that harsh reality. And you see that ball go through the pins. Like we said, he had a hammer effect tour as well as a 78 urethane the first match. He switched to the urethane about the 4th or 5th frame, and it gave him more control, able to stay clean from then on and win the match. But today he's coming out firing on this match. Now this is another one down the lane and perfectly through the pins. Front 4 for Arthur Willemin. Boy, here he comes. And that's going to give him the lead over Crystal Elliott. He took the lead by 3 and then now by 13 by striking the last 2 times. And that's front 4 for Willemin. You can see Marc Chavet there in the back. He'll be interviewing our players after the match is over. And of course, we have to, as always, thank our friend Bruno Bidone, who is the organizer and French commentator for these Bowling Promotion Tour matches. Here's Crystal, right lane. Another good shot. Comes up a little bit late for a mixer 10-pin. And that's going to put her now, 14 pins behind. And she'll switch again to that Jester spare ball, go cross lane. and hopefully, expectedly, convert the spare. I like that yellow slip-on she has on her forefinger. That gives her just a little bit of extra traction on the ball. It gets her hands put in, and actually does help rotation, and gives her a little bit of extra power on the ball. So something bowlers at home might think about trying. Our second place qualifier was Tim Foy, our number 2 seed. That's him in the back with the phone there. Tim is a U.S. touring pro, and he had a phenomenal season last year. He made 6 telecasts, which was second most of anybody on the tour, and looking for him to have a phenomenal season this year on the PBA Tour. There's another great shot and she gets it a little high, but it comes up, and the head pin does its job this time, goes to the sideboard and comes back. Watch the head pin. It goes off to the sideboard and comes back. Actually, it kicks the 7 into the 4, and it knocks the 4 forward to get her the strike in the 5th frame. And so here is Arthur looking for the front 5. Give it to him. 5 in a row for Arthur Willemin. Look at this guy. Just killing it. My goodness, look at that rotation. And every ball has been dead flush in the pocket. Not a doubt about any of them. And Crystal's like, boy, what do I got to do to slow this guy down? And here goes Arthur now looking for the front 6. Again, lanes 21 and 2 here at the Cap Malo Bowling Center. We visited 4 other cities on the way to the qualifying and the exhibitions that went on here. And another one down the lane. That one's late to the pocket. Got a little fast on the tighter lane. Comes up for the 2-8. Does not leave the 10 pin with it, luckily. But watch this. Right there, it's supposed to slow down and turn left, and it goes a little bit straight. Might have gotten a little bit fast off his hand. But still not a terrible shot. And now he's got to convert this 2-8. And that will give him 138. And he does, in fact, convert. So give him 138 in the 5th, which gives him the 22 pin lead over Crystal. Crystal can cut it now to 12 with a strike here. And again, counting her 8 pins of handicap, so not exactly what you see on the scorecard there, but we are adding in the 8 as we call the match and call her lead. Takes that IN Pro. No ball changes during this match. Look at that beautiful arm swing. Just strokes through the shot. Turn it up. Gets the crumbling bucket for the double to cut the lead to 12. And that was a clutch shot. I think she made the correct shot on the correct lane, as we call it, because she got a little bit to the right, but on the drier lane. So the ball a little bit to the right recovers and comes back to the pocket, gives her the crumbling bucket. And it looks like, do we have another ball return? We've seen a lot of ball returns on this pair. And I think she's looking to get that resolved. And there's the ball back. So now it will be Crystal up in the 7th frame, looking to triple and get within 2 in this match. And I like her chances. She has not missed the pocket. Willemin has missed only once through 12 shots. And another good-looking shot right down the oil. No doubt about that one. There's the triple to get her within 2. And look at this turn through the pocket. Boy, I'm telling you, the balls that are striking are, except for that crumbling bucket, they're all just flush. Just perfect shots. Boy, compared to our last match, which was a real grind out, this one is, bowlers are scoring high, but still a very close match. Just goes to show high or low scoring. Look at that, another beautiful flush strike for Willemin. High or low scores, we can still have exciting matches. Watch this ball go out and turn up. My goodness, you could not draw up a better ball shape than that through the pins. And is this another ball return? And here we go again, waiting for that harsh reality to return. I want to check out the Bowling Promotion Tour website. There will be details of the 2026-2027 Bowling Promotion Tour coming up. We visited a number of different cities this year, including Bayeux, Avranches, Mont-Saint-Michel, Fontaine-le-Comte, and Chateaubriand. You might want to check out the tour. It's a fun tour of France, and we ended up here in La Meziere. There's another shot in the pocket, and again, that scrambling 10-pin. We've seen it a number of times. And look at this, just a little bit through the break point. Last time he left the 2-8 on this lane. This time he hits it, gets it a little bit harder into the pocket, but unfortunately still the mixer 10. And now he's going to go to that urethane ball and throw a backup at this 10-pin. And cross lane, makes the spare. Good shot. 2-pin match. Crystal Elliott with the chance to take the lead here in the 8th frame. Now she's on the drier lane. She got one to the left, or excuse me, to the right last time outside. The ball turned up, crumbled the bucket. What will she do here? Staying with the Ion Pro. That's a very, very popular piece with pros because it is so controllable. And that beautiful arm swing, strokes through the shot. Oh, it's left, and it comes through. And once again, we see that 2-4-7 combination. We saw it twice last game. We saw it in practice, and now we see it here. It's the 2-4-7. That is not a good result for Crystal. She knew it was left again, like she made the correct shot on the correct lane last time. This time she got it left. That ball might have held if it were thrown on the left lane, the tighter lane, but not here. And again, her choice is to go for 1 or go for the 2. She goes for the spare and unfortunately only gets the 1, which is going to leave her open with 8 in the 8th frame. And she's going to drop further behind here. 171 leaves her 179 with her handicap in the 8th. Again, it says 171 on the scorecard. Add 8 to that gives her 179. And Arthur pacing to 198 in that frame, so a 19-pin lead now for Arthur going into the 9th and 10th. Crystal absolutely needs these strikes. Gets this one. Good shot. Crystal with a possible 239 with her handicap. Arthur pacing to 238. So if Arthur cannot put a double together in his 9th and 10th, Crystal will have a chance to get up and win the match. This is what we call ball in hand, which means Arthur really at this point controls his own fate. If he can strike out, he can close out the match. And there's a good looking ball. Turn it up, packed it. And there's doing his job in the 9th. That's perfect. 19-pin lead. And good shot there. Once again, pacing to 238, possible 258. But one strike here would make the difference. That would put him in the 240s, and that would put it out of wood for Crystal. So he needs this first one. Now he's come up light his last couple of shots here. He left a 2-8, then he left a Swisher 10-pin. Let's see if he can get this one to the pocket and get it through the pins the right way to carry. What a difference between the last match. And he throws it to the right, turns it up, and another Swisher 10. Really common leave here at Cap Malo. If you get the ball to the right on this pattern, it doesn't want to make that hard turn. There is more recovery off the drive if you get it to the right, but sometimes you don't get the carry. That's kind of the hallmark of a good pattern. There's area, but if you use it very much, you don't carry as much. You got to make the good shot to strike. Now Arthur cannot shut out Crystal. She will have a chance to get up and take this match. She gets up, and he throws the backup once again, makes the spare. That's 218 in the 9th. So 238 possible, which would make Crystal strike out to win by 1. So important fill shot here. can get them all. He makes Crystal get them all. And gets it out to the dry, turns it up, swishes another 10-pin. Boy, that's a really calming leave, as we said. 237, 237 for Arthur Willemin. Very good game. Compared to 182 last time, which was a winner. Let's see if 237's enough. Crystal Elliott, PWBA Rookie of the Year. She bowled team trials this year, and they had her mic'd up. Might want to look for that out on YouTube. And, of course, there is the Bowling Promotion Tour YouTube channel where you can see all these matches, both in the French and the international versions. And here is Crystal. Needs it. Needs it. Needs it. Oh, gets it left, and it's through the beak for the 3-pin. And Willemin once again escapes. In both matches, his opponent had the chance on the right lane to get up and strike. In Crystal's case, she needed a double. Can't do it. And now it will be Arthur Willemin moving on to face Arnois MBL, our number 5 seed. That will be in our next match. And sorry to say, Crystal couldn't really navigate that right lane. She had a strike there. She crumbled the bucket, but then she went high, and then she went high again. So that right lane, that drier right lane, kind of got her. And now the support from the crowd. And there's the strike she needed. And she ends up 211 with her handicap 219, and it will be a 18-pin victory for young Arthur Willemin. Boy, bowling beyond his years, taking down 2 veterans in Chris Viali and Crystal Elliott. And good for him. Now he moves on to face Francis Arnois Ambiel. It'll be a battle of the Frenchmen in our next match. Let's have a look at a couple of the shots here. And we had a lot of those. A lot of balls going flush through the pins. So lots to choose from there. And here is Crystal, 7 strikes, 3 spares. That critical open in the 8th frame turned out to be her undoing. But a solid game, as usual, as you'd expect by Crystal. And then Arthur shoots 237, 7 strikes, 3 spares, no opens. That proved to be the difference. And he makes all his 3 spares, so he's clean. Arthur only 1 open through the last 2 games. Now let's hear from Marc Chavet in the interview.
Yes, very much so.
Crystal, great to see you after the match. Unfortunately, this one not going your way. It's just one of those games, one of those matches when it comes down to one single shot, the drama, the pressure on your shoulders. How do you handle it?
Well, each time is different. It just depends on the environment that you're in. In this case, I mean, I just didn't show up when I needed to. But, I mean, I take it as a learning experience and move on. And hopefully one day in the future I can use this experience to better help me to potentially make that shot.
And it's an interesting one because the young Frenchman you were up against as well, just taking advantage of being on home court. You could feel the crowd kind of carrying him through the key moments as well. You coming to France, being in semi-hostile territory, so to speak, and at the end of the day, it just didn't go your way this time.
No, I'm really proud of Arthur. I've seen just how amazing of a kid he is and just a bowler in general. And so it was really cool to just even have a match against him. And so I'm just really excited and ready to see him do some really cool things in the future.
Sounds great. Thanks for the perspective, Crystal. Thank you so much.